Alright, welcome back everybody to some more root tutorial. Today we will be exploring the Critters Unite. Learn to play as the Woodland Alliance. So, now we've only met two of them so far, so this one, be prepared to be amazed. This one plays, as you might expect, entirely different. And I'm excited to show it to you. So, let's see. I honestly, this faction is probably the one I understand the least. So, this should be very good for myself. Let's see here. It says, the Upstart Woodland Alliance wish to unite the creatures of the forest and revolt against their oppressors. They score by spreading sympathy for their cause across the woodlands. By being the underdogs, we won't start with any warriors or buildings on the map. Instead, we begin with 3 supporters that can spread sympathy tokens for our cause. Each clearing where we can spread sympathy has a supporter cost. Spend a fox supporter to spread sympathy in the fox clearing below. Okay, let's see how that works. So we click here. Oh, we have the supporters down here, I see. Interesting. So we had a fox supporter and now we have him in here. So we can spread sympathy multiple times in one turn if we have the supporters, so long as we expand from an existing sympathetic clearing. Select a second clearing to spread sympathy to, and just for reference, this is the sympathy token. The alliance uses sympathy to craft cards and start revolts. Moving into a sympathetic clearing or removing sympathy causes outrage. We'll probably cover that later. So we have a sympathy token here that is a bunny. I guess we had one for each faction at the beginning. That makes sense. And now we want to spread into a bunny clearing. So let's go here. Gaining that support, immediately gaining a point. Nice work. Placing our second sympathy scores us 1 victory point. Select your avatar to learn more about scoring sympathy. As we go higher on the sympathy track, gaining sympathy costs more supporters and scores more victory points for us. So here's the sympathy track. Kind of reminds me most of the roost track for the Eerie. So let's see, it goes up in victory points for each time we play some. Not each time, but when we play, they tend to rise. Yep. Close that for now. At the start of daylight, sympathy contribute to the suit of their clearing towards paying crafting costs, just like the Eerie Roost and Marquee workshops. Let's get crafting. So at the start of daylight, so here's a button that they want me to click craft a card from your hand. The Alliance craft using sympathy. Yeah, and we have a fox and a bunny symbol right now, letting us play this fox card. So we craft a crossbow, gaining a crossbow icon and 1 point. And if you're wondering what does the symbol means, then don't worry, that'll be covered in the 4th tutorial, I'm sure. Because then we get to the character who uses those. Use Mobilize to turn the remaining cards in our hand to supporters. You can't hold more than 5 supporters until you build a base. So let me just go here and click just for reference. We have our bases. No, that's not what we're looking for. Our supporters. Not sure what we are looking at here. It's this track down here, surely, that I mean, yeah, supporters. So let's see. Mobilize. Add a card from your hand to your supporters stack. So we play a fox card, gaining a fox supporter, and we play another fox card to gain another fox supporter. Okay. The revolution has awakened, but for now it is time to rest. Tonight we feast, and tomorrow we dine in hell. Don't listen to this woodland rebel. Ignore this oh my god. Heresy. Oh my god. The Marquee is your rightful ruler. Amazing. Alright. Building support was just the beginning. Now it's time to rise up and revolt. Select the clearing below. We must spend 2 supporters matching the suit of the clearing to cause a revolt. Sounds good to me. Click there. Boom, boom. And here's the revolt. Okay, and I just want to point out that when I played the Marquis, this completely blindsided me because a revolt destroys all with bold letters, capital bold letters, opposing units, tokens, and buildings in that clearing. And I had a clearing with 6 cats in it and 2 buildings, and I thought, well, these revolters, they can't hurt me. But no, they can. They absolutely can. They can just clear everything. Then you build a base there with warriors equal to the number of sympathetic clearings in the same suit. And we only have 1 fox clearing, so we got 1 fox warrior in here. We can only have 3 bases in the forest, 1 for each type of clearing. So now we have a fox base, I guess, and it's this building here. Let's just see what it says here. A base allows the Woodland Alliance to train officers, recruit warriors, draw additional cards. Whenever a base is removed, the Alliance must discard all supporters of the matching suit, including birds. I see. And remove half of their officers rounded up. Okay, so you kind of want to attack these bases. That's interesting. It looks like an officer has arrived as well with our new base. He'll help direct our evening military operations, and officers are listed here. The Alliance uses officers to command military operations, move, recruit, battle, and organize. Just for reference, if we look in here, that's this icon there. Alright, more on that later, I'm sure. Spread Sympathy Phase. Okay, let me just, because I am very curious, and look at this turn order track. So just real quick, Birdsong goes Revolt, like we just did. Then Spread Sympathy, so this is just Birdsong stuff. Then Daylight is where we craft, mobilize, and train. And then Evening is military operations. You have actions equal to your officers. I see. Move, recruit, battle, organize. And second, draw card, +1 for each base. Okay. Anyway, that was just a quick summary. Spread Sympathy then. And we have a mouse supporter, so we can do that in a mouse clearing. And it has to be adjacent to a clearing where we already have support, as noted here. There's actually 4 different choices. And that's all the mouse clearing, so this is a bad example. But if this was a mouse clearing down here, we would not be able to spread sympathy there. And they want me to do it over here, so let's do that. Gaining a point. You may craft or mobilize the card in your hand. It's up to you. What do you mean? Oh, we can craft it over here. Let's see what it does. It gives us a boot and 1 victory point. Suppose we don't need that. We can mobilize it in order to turn it into a supporter for a bunny faction. That doesn't sound like a terrible idea. We don't have a bunny supporter yet, so do that. Now you have access to a number of evening military operations, actions equal to your officers. Continue. Because we are like a guerrilla warfare faction who like moves in the dark, it stands to reason that our soldiers operate at nighttime. I think that's a kind of a cool little flavor thing. Use your 1 military action to recruit a warrior. That'll be over here. Place a warrior at a base. So unlike the other factions, this guy just recruits 1 dude per officer action, right? Can't really spam warriors in the same sense. They move in the shadows. Time to quell these rabid rousers, says the Marquis. Sure, come at me, brah. When an opponent moves warriors into a sympathetic clearing, we have sympathy in here. Even though we've built a base, we still have sympathy here, which is really important to note. We still keep that token. Sympathetic clearing, or destroys a sympathy token, it causes an outrage. This forces your opponent to add a card from their hand that matches the clearing to your supporters. So they moved from here into a clearing where we have support, so then they have to give me a card from their hand and add it to our supporter track down there. Outrage, which seems like a very powerful effect. You are being attacked. Thankfully, the Woodland Alliance are masters of guerrilla war. When defending, you take the higher die in combat as if you were the attacker. So, throwing everything upside down compared to what we knew before, it used to be that the attackers always had the advantage, getting the higher rolled die, but specifically the Woodland Alliance, when they are defending, they get that higher die in combat. Very powerful faction effect 2. So 0 and 2 means we get to keep the 2 and then they die. Really hard to attack and oust them then from the forest, eh? We've been outfoxed. They can use the field hospital though in order to recover those warriors. Spread Sympathy. Craft cards and remove enemy buildings to score 15 victory points and complete this scenario. Alright. Is that the whole thing? No clearing to revolt, continue button. So let's review. We got the Guerrilla War faction effect. We just learned about that one. Really powerful. The Outrage is kind of hard to, not to grasp, but to like think about. Not only, we as the Woodland Alliance don't really have to think about the Outrage. Of course we do to some extent, but playing against the Woodland Alliance, moving into their sympathetic clearings costs you a card and gives them something, and it also whenever you want to destroy sympathy, you also have to do that thing. So it's really hard to get rid of the Woodland Alliance because you just get new sympathy every time you do it, and then you can just spread it out. In fact, if you move into a clearing and then destroy a sympathy token, then they've gained 2 supporters, thus being able to build 2 new sympathy tokens elsewhere. So it's really hard to get rid of them. Pesky little parasites. No clearing to revolt in, press continue. Okay, so we do that. No clearing to spread sympathy to. Why not? Why not? Huh. Because we have... See, let me see if I understand this. We have supporters. We have both Bunny and Fox. Why can we not spread sympathy right now? Here, spread sympathy. Pay supporters cost equal to... No, pay supporter cost to play sympathy and gain victory point equal to the amount shown on the sympathy track. I understand. So if we come in here, we have now reached the part of the sympathy track where we need 2 supporters of a given suit to build new sympathy tokens in a new clearing. We need 2 foxes to spread, and it even shows here we need two mouse icons to spread in here. Fair enough. Understanding achieved. So now we have the phase where we can, let's just make sure we follow the track here. Now we are in daylight. You may take these actions any number of times. We can craft, mobilize, and train. Haven't really covered the train thing yet. Okay. Mobilize and craft then. Do we want to craft any of these things? This is a victory point. And this is at the start of Birdsong, you and another player draw a card. Well, we can't build this anyway. We could not build this one either. So we could mobilize. I think that would be a fine idea. We will mobilize a bunny card, go into 2 bunny supporters. So now we can take a bunny clearing or spread sympathy to a bunny clearing next turn. Continue. Then we choose an action. I can continue to mobilize, but I'm going to go with no. Let's continue to evening then. In the evening then, we choose... Let's follow the track here. First, we do our military operations. You have actions equal to your officers, and we have 1 officer. They can make you move, recruit, battle, or organize. Let's see what they do. Move makes sense, just move between clearings. Recruit gives us a warrior. We've got organize. Remove a warrior in order to in a clearing without sympathy to spread sympathy there. I see. And battle is what it always was. Attempt to remove an enemy pieces in a clearing where you have any number of warriors. Okay. I think a recruit makes sense. Let's just build up our army here a little bit. So the Marquis do all kinds of stuff. Quickly gaining victory points. Alright. Now we get to the Revolt Phase. And we can do a revolt. Interesting. Because we have 2 bunny supporters. And what will it give us? We already have sympathy here. That's why we can do it, I suppose. And then we would destroy all warriors that they have, all buildings that they have. We would gain a base, which is pretty good. I think worth it. So let's do it. A revolt. Even though we don't only get 1 warrior removed, we get a warrior for free, we get a new base, and getting more bases is a big deal. Because it gives us another card draw. And is that the only thing? We also gained an officer, so we can do more military actions. I think it made a whole lot of sense doing that action. We can't spread sympathy then, that's fine. You have a new daylight action, training. Discard a card from your hand, matching the suit of one of your bases to train an officer, allowing you to take more evening actions. Now that, I think, makes sense. We will say train. We will use a bunny card, as we have a base in the bunny clearing. Gaining a... And I think it's important to note, officers come from the same reserve as your warriors. Exactly what I was about to call. Beware, when this supply runs out, you can't recruit either, right? And they don't have that many warriors in reserve, so they... On the board game, you take a warrior from your reserve and just add it to your officer track, basically, right? Here they have a different icon, which may be misleading, but that's fine. Choose an action. Do we want to craft? We can craft this one. In battle, may discard this to ignore all rolled hits taken. Let me read that again. In battle, may discard this to ignore all rolled hits. Oh, armor us. Huh. Interesting. And the card here, Scouting Party. As attacker in battle, you are not affected by ambush cards. I see. Probably only once, right? Can't craft that one, but we could mobilize it and gain some sympathy. I think mobilizing... Spend a card from hand matching a build base to gain an officer. We already have 3. I will mobilize a bird card. A joker, so that we can now gain a fox sympathy token if we want. I'm not going to do more, and then we will continue to evening. In the evening we now have 3 actions because we have 3 officers. Ooh, now it's getting tricky. Because they want us to spread sympathy 3 times, use the organize action as well, this one here. Yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking. We will move out a warrior anywhere to spread sympathy somewhere. And we already have sympathy here. I would like sympathy down there. Maybe we could get away with that. I think we can. So I wonder if this works. We will move this dude over here. Let's do 2. Use the organize action to sacrifice a warrior for sympathy. Yeah, I am going to do it, I swear, but I want to do it in here. So you move 1 warrior in. And we don't rule the clearing because they have warrior superiority, but I believe I can still do the organize. Yes. So choose a warrior to replace with a sympathy token. Go in here. And so now we've gained sympathy, gaining the point without spending our supporters, right? That did not count for our spread sympathy 5 times goal. Okay. They move into a sympathy clearing here, even though it's their clearing, which is really tricky. So they add a card to our hand, and there was a bird card, so very nice of them. Now they're removing my sympathy token. And it's defenseless, so no matter what they roll, they always get an extra hit. And that means it is going to be destroyed. Now, when they attack and oust a sympathy token, we get Outrage. Because your opponent has no cards that match the suit of the clearing where they caused Outrage, they must reveal their hand and you get a random supporter instead. Oh, really? Marquise the Cat hand. View the Marquise the Cat hand revealed in the last Outrage. Okay, I mean, no cards available, so yeah. No clearing to revolt in, press continue. So we do a random card to add to our supporter track. So we can't revolt, but we can spread sympathy. Enemy spaces with 3 or more warriors cost you an additional supporter to spend sympathy there. This I didn't know. Aha! Spread to cheaper spaces unless you really have it out for that enemy. Very interesting. Yeah, so now we would need to spend 3 in here. Let's go for this one. And then we can spread all the way over here. Good stuff. Choose an action. So, mobilize. Now I kind of want to do a revolt in this clearing here, which is a fox clearing. So we need, what, 2? And so we will consider... Yeah, we will mobilize you. And mobilize you. Good. We can make officers, but we have 3. I'll say train. Because we have a base in a bunny clearing, we can get an officer out of this. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think... Does it say so here anywhere? I thought 4 officers were the max. I don't know if that's the case. As a fact. Okay, choose an action. We're not doing... we could, mobilize a scouting party? Nah. Let's just go to the next phase. Choose an action. Now we have 4 military actions this turn. We're trying to score up to 15 points. Well, we can recruit our 3 warriors, which I don't think is a terrible idea. At least 2. Now we have like a party ready to move out. Organize. We could organize somewhere like here. That gives us victory points. So I'll just keep spawning troops in here. And that's all our 4 actions. Gain 3 cards at the end of the turn. Yeah, 1 plus the 2 bases, of course. Oh, when they're building in here, that's dangerous because I'm gonna revolt. Right? No clearing to revolt in. Okay, why can we not revolt over here? Let's see if we can crack that nut. Because, what? Spending 2 supporters matching a sympathetic clearing. Remove all pieces from there. Place matching base and warriors. Ah, because we already have a fox base. Right. The only base we have remaining is a mouse base. So we want to try to get a mouse clearing to revolt. I see. Good thing that we are doing this tutorial business. So there's nothing to revolt. No clearing to spread sympathy to. Because why? Well, that one I can answer. That's because we need 3 now. Because we have reached the next stage of the sympathy track. So, continues daylight. Here we want to now mobilize and get these mouse cards in play. Good. We can build or craft. Yeah, we can craft this royal claim because we have... This one just takes 4 different of any kind, and we have support in so many different clearings that this is an easy one to get. In Birdsong, may discard this point to score 1 point per clearing you rule. We 1, 2, 2. 2 points is not too shabby. So for a card, yeah. Maybe we can even increase that by 1 point by ruling another clearing. We can train this bunny, but I think we need those warriors. So I will say continue to evening. I want to recruit a warrior here. Now we have 0. Your shared supply of warriors and officers is empty. You can free up room in your supply by using the organize action to sacrifice a warrior for sympathy, indeed. So what we are doing is that we are grabbing these 2 dudes. We are gonna be moving them up here away from their keep. So this is an easier one to keep. And then we will organize in there with one of the warriors gaining sympathy. And if they want to come up here and oust me and take away my ruling of this clearing, then I will get Outrage. Then we still have 1 action remaining, so I will recruit a warrior where we do not have 1 in a base here. I think that's a good idea. And then that is the end of the turn. So currently we are set up to win at the Birdsong next turn. They are attacking us here, trying to get rid of our support. And since we are defenseless, your buildings are defenseless when you have no warriors in the zone or in the clearing, and then they just get that automatic hit. So even if they rolled 0-0, they would still get rid of the clearing, the building. All right. Now we can revolt, but I guess we will. Okay, gaining us no points that time, huh? And here, this one is like glowing or whatever you want to call it. So we click the royal claim in Birdsong. May discard this to score 1 point per clearing you rule. That should get us to 16 points, I think. And just like that, the Marquis has been beaten, and the Woodland Alliance rise. Rise, brethren. And that's it. That's how you play the Woodland Alliance. I don't think that that's an easy faction to play, but it does seem very powerful. But I said that about the birds too, and you know what? The Marquis is pretty powerful too. Now the next faction is the Lone Wanderer, and that's the lone hero character. I think he might be the hardest character to play, but I haven't done it yet, and I don't really understand him, so I'm very excited to learn him, how to play him in the next episode. So I hope you all enjoyed Root for now. See you soon, and this is Keejchen signing off.